A difficult coworker can take 5 minutes of your time and somehow stay in your head for the next 2 hours. The interruption ends, the meeting is over, but you are still replaying what they said. The real problem is not always the difficult person. It is how much of your focus, energy, and workday you allow their behavior to control. In this video, you'll learn how to work with difficult people without letting their behavior take over your day. We'll look at how to recognize recurring patterns, create practical workplace boundaries, stay professional without becoming passive, and protect your energy after frustrating interactions. How to work with difficult people without letting them control your day. Working with difficult people is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is not a shouting match, a major conflict, or a coworker openly trying to make your life harder. Sometimes it is quieter than that. It is the person who interrupts your focus every morning. The teammate who turns every small issue into emotional noise. The coworker whose tone makes you tense before the meeting even starts. Over time, these moments can shape your entire workday if you are not careful. The real challenge is not just the difficult person. It is how much space they take inside your head. A 5-minute conversation can become a 2-hour mental replay. A passive comment can follow you into your next task. A frustrating meeting can drain the energy you needed for actual work. This is why working with people you do not like requires more than patience. It requires a clear system for protecting your focus, your professionalism, and your emotional bandwidth. Instead of asking only, "What is wrong with them?" it helps to ask, "Why does this affect me, and what response will protect my work?" That shift matters because it moves you from reaction to choice. Difficult people may still be difficult, but they no longer get automatic control over your mood, your attention, or your decisions. Why difficult people feel so consuming? Difficult coworkers often become emotionally consuming because they trigger something specific. It might be your need for fairness, your respect for focus, your dislike of conflict, or your frustration with people who avoid accountability. The behavior itself may be small, but the emotional reaction can feel large because it connects to a deeper value. For example, a coworker who constantly talks over others may bother you because you value respect. A teammate who avoids responsibility may frustrate you because you care about fairness. A colleague who gossips may drain you because you value trust and emotional safety. When you understand the boundary or value being touched, the situation becomes easier to manage. This does not mean you blame yourself for being irritated. It means you stop treating every reaction as proof that the other person has power over you. Your reaction is information. Once you know what it is telling you, you can choose a response that protects your work instead of feeding the frustration. Separate the person from the pattern. One of the most useful things you can do is stop treating every annoying moment as a brand new event. Look for the pattern. Does this person interrupt only when deadlines are tight? Do they become negative during group discussions? Do they create confusion whenever responsibilities are unclear? Do they drain your energy every time you speak, or only in certain situations? Patterns give you clarity. Without them, you may overreact to one bad comment or underreact to repeated behavior that is slowly affecting your work. Frequency and impact matter. A coworker who annoys you once in a while is different from someone whose behavior regularly delays deliverables, damages team morale, or forces you to do extra emotional labor. Before deciding how to respond, ask yourself a few practical questions. Does this behavior affect my actual work or mostly my mood? Is this a one-time irritation or a repeated pattern? What boundary is being crossed here? What response would protect my energy without creating unnecessary drama? Do I need a conversation, a system, or simply more distance? These questions help you avoid two common mistakes: escalating too quickly or silently absorbing too much. Build small systems that protect your day. You do not need a dramatic confrontation every time someone is difficult. In many cases, the better solution is structure. Structure removes some of the emotional burden because it gives you a repeatable way to respond. If a coworker regularly interrupts you, protect focus blocks on your calendar. If a teammate turns every issue into a long complaint, use a time limit. If someone creates confusion in projects, follow up with written summaries. If meetings with a difficult person tend to spiral, use agendas and clear end times. Small systems are powerful because they reduce the number of decisions you have to make under stress. You are not improvising every time. You already know how you will respond. A simple line like, "I have 10 minutes now, so let's focus on the next step," can save you from becoming trapped in a long emotional loop. A follow-up message like, "To confirm, you'll handle the client update and I'll send the revised draft by Friday," can prevent confusion before it becomes blame. These are not cold responses. They are professional guardrails. Stay professional without becoming passive. Staying professional does not mean pretending nothing bothers you. It also does not mean letting people waste your time, dump stress on you, or repeatedly cross your limits. Professionalism means you respond with enough control that your choices help the situation instead of making it messy. There is a difference between being calm and being silent. Silence can become resentment when you use it to avoid necessary boundaries. Calm communication, on the other hand, lets you address the issue without turning it into a personal battle. For example, instead of saying, "You always interrupt me," you might say, "I want to finish this point, then I'll hear your concern." Instead of saying, "You're making this dramatic," you might say, "Let's bring this back to the next action we need to take." These responses are clear, firm, and focused on work. The goal is not to win against the difficult person. The goal is to keep your day from being pulled into their habits. Protect your energy after the interaction. Even when you handle a difficult coworker well, the emotional residue can linger. That is why you need a short reset after draining interactions. Without one, the frustration follows you into the next email, the next meeting, and sometimes even your evening. A reset can be simple. Write down what happened in neutral facts. Take a short walk. Step away from your screen. Decide on one next action, then return to your task. The point is to signal to your brain that the moment is over. Difficult people become more powerful when you keep replaying them. You take back control when you close the loop and redirect your attention to what matters. Final thought. You may not be able to choose every person you work with, but you can choose how much of your day they get to own. Difficult coworkers do not need unlimited access to your mood, focus, or confidence. With clear patterns, small boundaries, and calm responses, you can work with people you do not like without letting them become the center of your work life. You do not have to like everyone to work well. You just need enough clarity to protect your energy, enough professionalism to communicate well, and enough self-respect to stop giving difficult people more space than they deserve. If you know someone who is dealing with a difficult coworker, share this video with them. And if you want more practical advice on workplace boundaries, communication, difficult personalities, and protecting your energy at work, like this video and subscribe to the channel for more.